Ross, the manager was talking about you and the other young players after the game the other night. They were saying you only had 5 training sessions with the first team last season. It's also been quite a change this season. How influential has the manager been for you and what's he done for you over the course of this campaign?
Yeah, he's been massive. Obviously whenever he first came in was probably the biggest part he played in terms of giving me a chance and speaking to me. So whenever he had said to me when I first came in, look, just do what you were doing before he came in, and that was obviously something I wanted to do, and it obviously worked out and got a lot of big starts and a lot of big games as well. So, and you obviously see it now with Robbie Fraser the other night and Cole McKinnon as well. So it's amazing. I'd obviously see teammates that I've played with for 4 or 5 years, being on this journey with them and sharing a pitch with them all at the same time. It's amazing.
When you were only making those 5 appearances in training sessions, did what you've experienced the last couple of months, did that feel so far away and almost impossible to believe that you'd be where you are now 12 months on?
Yeah, I think it's a bit crazy, if I look where I am now and how many, I think the game the other day was my 28th game in the league, so even obviously some of the games I've played in, played in the Old Firm as well, started that game, and even Real Betis, that's probably said it's one of the biggest games I've played in terms of atmosphere and sort of the quality of players you're playing against. So to obviously be where I am now and look back on the games I've played in, it's amazing.
Do you almost see yourself as like a standard bearer now for the academy boys? You are the example for them to try and follow this season and next season and the seasons after?
I think that was something I said obviously a few months ago, was it was starting to feel a wee bit more normal. Obviously everyone was still looking at me and judging me as a young player, but I think it's probably at this point now where I'm being judged as another first team player, which is good as well, because ultimately I want to be having the same outputs as the rest of the boys as well, because I want to affiliate myself in this starting team for many years to come. So yeah,
I'm sure it would have been disappointing missing out on the league title, but how important is it over the next 2 games to finish on a high, not only with a win in the final league game of the season, but what can a Scottish Cup win do as well going into the summer? Yeah,
definitely. Obviously coming off the back of getting a trophy earlier on the season was obviously another thing I probably didn't think I would have so early into starting with the first team. So yeah, look, obviously all the boys and me are all disappointed we didn't win the league, but we've 2 big games coming up and we want to finish strong.
Can that be a big factor, maybe psychologically, heading into the summer, if you manage to get that end of season success, just going into the summer with a bit of a different mindset?
I think, yeah, our ambitions are we want to win every trophy we can, and obviously we have a chance to now win another trophy, so yeah, it would be good going into the summer holidays looking back on 2 trophies and the season we've had.
What have you seen in the recent Old Firm games, Ross, that gives you a belief that you can finish off the season with the first win over Celtic this year?
I think we always have belief going into these games. Like we always believe we can win every single game we go into. Obviously football's a funny game and things might not go your way, but I think obviously with the way we've started the past few games, I'd probably say we just make it difficult for ourselves. We're coming into half time and we're losing. That's not what you want to be doing. You want to be putting teams in the back foot and getting an early goal.
The manager seemed to be pretty angry after the game on Tuesday about that, not starting the way he would want it to start. That message get through to the players?
I think, yeah, it's understandable, coming in obviously after I'd scored to make it 2-1. I think that's probably a wee bit of a game changer in terms of momentum in the game, but look, he's understandably annoyed. The goals we conceded they're just not good enough, and I think they're so avoidable. That's probably the more annoying thing.
Ross, if some players return this weekend, you guys almost feel that their cup final places up for grabs, or competition for cup final places?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we know there's cup finals around the corner, and there's going to be limited spaces available with a lot of players coming back as well. So I think it's just what you do from now. Obviously we've got the game tomorrow. There's still a lot of days in training and a game to show why you should be in that starting spot.
How do you reflect on the season as a whole? Not you personally, but for the team.
I think obviously we're disappointed not to win the league. I think it's a no-brainer. Like, everyone's gutted that we didn't do that, but obviously to win the trophy early on and to hopefully finish as strong as we can, and we would all be happy.
Has there been a moment since Wednesday when the manager or the captain has spoken to the group about the fact that you've missed out on the title, and kind of what you do to remedy that next season?
I think no, it's not something we're going to dwell on. We know we have two big games coming around the corner, so it's not something we want to sit on and have our heads down. We want to try and pick ourselves back up and focus on the next 2 games we have in mind.
Is it not a chance to use the scenes from Wednesday, your rivals celebrating, as a motivation for next season? Say, look, we want to be where they are in 12 months' time.
I think every season we want to win the league, of course, but that's obviously not possible every season when different things happen. And I think going into next season, we'll want to win the league. That's not going to change, and I don't think anything changing throughout the season is going to change our mindsets coming up to that.
Ross, can I just ask you, what's the biggest thing you've learned this season?
It's a good question. I think probably coming into these games, it's probably trying to keep yourself composed. Find, like, whenever I went from the B team games into the first team games, it's a lot more frantic, trying to start the game on the front foot. And I think obviously trying to get that first touch and keep yourself composed, because I think it makes your game a lot easier throughout the rest of the 90 minutes whenever you're composed compared to a wee bit frantic on the ball and stuff like that. So it's just trying to have an impact early on.